U.S. Citizenship Interview Preparation, Civics Exam, History, Federalist Papers and Bill of Rights, Civic Questions 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 50, 51, and 67. The Constitution was written at the Constitutional Convention in 1787. After the Constitution was written, the writers returned to their states to explain the Constitution to the people. The Constitution needed to be ratified by at least 9 states. Ratified means to be approved or accepted. If 9 or more states ratified the Constitution, it would become the supreme law of the land, the Constitution of the United States. Problems with the Constitution. Some people didn't like the new Constitution because they said it took away power from the states and gave too much power to the central government. 3 men, Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay, published papers called the Federalist Papers. The Federalist Papers explained and supported the Constitution. The Federalist Papers said the Constitution created a good form of government for the United States. Another problem with the Constitution was that it didn't protect people's basic rights. For example, freedom of religion or freedom of assembly. The Constitution said what the government can do, but it didn't say what the government cannot do. The people wanted the Constitution to promise that the government will not take away the basic rights of the people. James Madison wrote 10 amendments to the Constitution. An amendment is a change or addition to the Constitution. The first 10 amendments to the Constitution are called the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is a list of people's rights. The government cannot take these rights away from the people. The Bill of Rights convinced many people to ratify the Constitution. Delaware was the first state to ratify the Constitution in 1787. Massachusetts was the 6th state to ratify the Constitution in 1788. Rhode Island was the last state to ratify the Constitution in 1790. The Bill of Rights became part of the Constitution in 1791. The Constitution sets up the government of the United States. The Bill of Rights guarantees our rights and freedoms. The first 10 amendments to the Constitution are the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment gives us 5 rights and freedoms. 1. Freedom of speech. We can say what we want. 2. Freedom of religion. We can practice any religion or not practice a religion. 3. Freedom of assembly. We can come together with a group of people. 4. Freedom of the press. We can say or publish what we want, for example, in newspapers and books. Today, this includes the internet, newspapers, television, radio, etc. 5. The right to petition the government for redress of grievances. We can ask the government to do something or not to do something. The Second Amendment says people may own guns. This was necessary in 1791 when farmers and villagers needed to protect themselves from enemies. The Third Amendment says people do not need to let soldiers stay in their homes. The Fourth Amendment says the military, police, or immigration cannot enter your home without written permission from a judge. This permission is written on a legal document called a search warrant. Police must show the search warrant to us if they want to enter our homes. The Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, and Eighth Amendments give rights to protect us if we are arrested by the police. No person is forced to say he or she is guilty. Only a grand jury can order a trial for a serious crime. A person cannot have more than one trial for the same crime. An accused person has the right to a trial as soon as possible, and the trial must be public. An accused person has the right to help from an attorney. Jurors must not be prejudiced against an accused person. A person has the right to a trial by jury. The government cannot punish any person in a cruel manner. The 9th and 10th Amendments say that the people and the states have any rights that are not given to the federal government by the Constitution. The 9th and 10th Amendments. The federal government is the national, central government of the United States. The federal government was defined by the Constitution of the United States. It is the highest government in the United States. Other governments in the United States are the state governments and the local governments of cities and towns. All people in the United States are protected by the Bill of Rights. Some people are United States citizens, and some people are not United States citizens. These laws protect all people in the United States. For example, all people have the right to freedom of speech and freedom of religion. But the Bill of Rights does not give all people the right to vote. You must be a citizen to vote. Voting is a right only for United States citizens. In another lesson, you will study 4 more amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. It is not easy to change the Constitution. It takes 2 steps. 1. An amendment must be proposed. An amendment can be proposed by 67% of both the Senate and the House of Representatives. An amendment can also be proposed by 67% of the states. 2. The amendment must be ratified by 75% of the states. Today, the Constitution has 27 amendments. Civics exam, question 50. Question: name one right only for United States citizens. Answer: vote in a federal election. Civics exam, question 4. Question: what is an amendment? Answer: a change to the Constitution. Civics exam, question 7. Question: how many amendments are there? Answer: 27. Civics exam, question 5. Question: what do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? Answer: the Bill of Rights. Civics exam, question 6. Question: what is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Answer: freedom of speech. This is an example. You can say any of the 5 rights or freedoms. Civics exam, question 51. Question: what are 2 rights of everyone living in the United States? Answer: freedom of speech and freedom of religion. This is an example. You can say any 2 rights from the Bill of Rights. Civics exam, question 10. Question: what is freedom of religion? Answer: you can practice any religion or not practice a religion. Civics exam, question 67. Question: the Federalist Papers supported the passage of the Constitution. Name one of the writers. Answer: John Jay, or James Madison, or Alexander Hamilton. You only have to say one name.